Welcome back to another episode. We're playing with the FB again, which is pretty exciting. This episode is just a jam together mix match of everything I've just been working on as I was working on it. I guess it's the best way of doing it. We've even got some glass. You're not going to see that in the video. That happened today. But the front glass is back in. Very excited about that. Doors are going to get painted. We're doing some rust proofing, and we're just going to keep making progress on this thing. Some rust repairs, roof lining goes in. Just some bits and pieces. Just filming it as we go and keeping it on track. I want this car running probably next year. Would be nice. We're running out of year though, so I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Let's get in the episode. Strap yourselves in for another shed night. It's dark outside. It's night time. I'm in the shed. It's a freaking shed night. My favorite time. Get to keep back, relax, do some work on my car, get some stuff done. Yeah, going by a rolling shell, I really need to get some stuff done. Anyways, I'm going to show you what we're up to. This is what I'm up to. I've never used this before. It's a rust proofing, but if you listen to it, it's super liquid. Like it's really runny. I don't know. Never heard of it. Anyway, it's rust proofing. I've got a rust proof. That's what we're doing. We're going to rust proof. This thing goes out for roof lining tomorrow. So I have to rust proof all this roof line before the roof lining goes in. So that's my main priority. I'm probably a little bit behind the dash. I think we can get inside these pillars. And I'm just going to squirt this stuff everywhere. And I got a new gun. I'm very excited. I got this. This was $35. It's got an air pressure controller here, which I'm very excited about. But it's got this nozzle on here. Hang on, stay still. I've got a mess of stuff from playing with go-karts, so bear with me. It's got this nozzle on it that's going to shoot it outwards and sideways as well. So I've never had one of these. Very excited about this cool little toy. So this is going to be real simple, down and dirty. Screw this thing onto that thing and spray in car. There. So that's the plan. Super simple. Some airline, run out, ready to rip. So that's that. So after this, it goes out for the roof lining. So I'll show you that when it comes back too. Let's get stuck into this. I'm excited. This is pretty cool. I just pulled the lid off. It's got this lid, the pull tab ones. Tore that off. It's now scrap metal. Then it's got another bloody seal in there. So I'm guessing I'm just going to use this. It's kind of angled. I'm going to stab that in there. I reckon that'll work. Get the spraying. Well, this is a cool new toy. I don't know. Let's just stick it around here and see what happens. I really can't see what I'm doing. I'm assuming it's working because I can smell it. Stick her up here and drag it back. Yeah, I can smell it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty darn cool. Can I go down that pillar? Nope, there's a dead end. Yep, I can see it all over the roof cavity. Oh, I can go in here. I can go in all these areas. In you go. Oh, sandblasting grip coming out at me. I got 2 bottles of this to bury in this car, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get everything I can. Wow, that's cool. That's a fun toy. That's worth a treat. Let's keep going. Good God. I've got to catch my breath here for a second. This escalated. This really escalated. I've got stuff everywhere. So the gun that I was using worked, and then it just wouldn't work anymore. I don't know what happened to it. I've got it here just dripping into the industrial bin. Devastated, because I like that big nozzle. I wonder if that'll fit on my U-pole gun. Anyway, I went and found my U-pole Raptor gun, which I have a pressure rag on. Thing's gnarly. This thing just delivers. Like, I've got it coming out of everywhere, and I've sprayed all up in here, and it's running out of holes that I didn't even know I had, and I don't even know how I have, because I thought I seam sealed this car really good. Turns out I didn't. Like, oh, they're holes, screw holes for trim. That makes sense. That makes way more sense. I thought I seam sealed it pretty good. I've just got stuff coming out of everywhere. Product is just, I've pumped an abundance of this into the car. Anyway, this whole side is now done. And this underneath this corner, which is a bad rust spot for these cars, that is done. It's just coming out of it. Like you would not believe. I've made a mess. It's just, yep. Anyway, you can just drip onto this rag and I'll soak it all up. Look at that. Look, I've wasted some product, I think. Anyway, the U-pole gun, I didn't have the pressure reg set when I did this corner, and it just came out. Believe you me. Anyway, I guess that's what I was looking for. I wanted just to flood the panel work. That's why I bought 2 bottles. 1 bottle per side, and it's going well. I'm going to see if I can pull that nozzle off of that, stick it on the U-pole gun and see if that works. I don't know what this product is, but it is the best I've ever used. Look how runny it is. Like, I was just pumping it in, and it is coming out of every little bit that you could ever imagine. It's running out of everywhere. I just went to town, which is what I wanted. I just wanted to drown it in rust proofing. Look at that. It's just, I've never done such a messy rust proofing job. I'm normally pretty neat with this, but this stuff was such a fine liquid. It just runs out of everything. It's phenomenal. And I drowned it, which was my plan. Look, it's coming out of there. Wait till you see up under here, look. Damn. I've got a bit of cleanup to do. I need to clean it, like, it's runny right now, but it will go very tacky soon. So I will clean all this up, and that'll do this job. I'm stoked. I'm all through everywhere. Like, you can see it coming out of just about anything. Anywhere there's something that's coming out of. So I'm pumped. That's what I was going for, and that is what I've achieved. So I'll clean the puddle up. It'll be fine. It's over here. It blew over here like nuts. That's cool. I'm very happy with that product. Back to cleaning. Well, tucked her in again. It's back on its little hidey hole. That was messy. I made a giant mess, but I achieved my goal, and that's the main thing, right? I flooded that thing. The roof, all the pillars, I just flooded the whole show. Thankfully that U-pole gun works. The other gun was mint until it blocked. I don't know what blocked it, but I can't seem to unblock it. It's just not playing ball. So anyway, U-pole gun for the win. And it just drenched it. Like, it's a big mess. I've been cleaning up that mess for half an hour. It was a big mess. Anyways, off to roof lining tomorrow. This bit that I'm doing here is probably something that would upset a lot of people. We're removing the trim on the car. So I've already welded up these 2 holes. I'm just doing this one here. And all I do is get my filler rod and I just sort of tack weld a little piece of steel to the end of it, a little round bit. And I'm just shaping it ever so slightly to fit into that hole really neatly. And I am just about there. See, let's look at that little bit of rock, and if you look to the left it's a bit high, and on the right there it dips into the hole nicely. So I'm just going to take a little bit more out of it. I can weld that one in. That's for the bigger holes, because the door is, if I put too much heat into the door here, it'll mess it up. The end hole and these little holes on the ridge, I can just use the welder and just build it up with some weld. That'll fix that issue up nicely. Anyway, that's that one. I'm just going to get this one here just a little bit more. What if I change the angle? Well, that's pretty good there, actually. There you go. That worked out really well. It's going to go there. Alright, I'll weld him in. And with it all ground off, I've got a little bit. You can kind of see where I welded it. We'll just have to use a little bit of filler in that. But I'll dress it with a dolly and hammer and it'll come up pretty good. This one here is good too. This one here, I can just feel is ever so slightly low, so I'll dolly that up a bit too. Anyway, let's move on to welding some of these up. I forgot to tell you, the roof lining's done. It's really good. Unfortunately, it's a bit dark here tonight. You really can't see it, but I'm absolutely wrapped on it. Still don't have a front window. We do have the rear one in. I just got to find the screws to hold this piece in, because, I don't know, they're in a box somewhere. The rear glass is back in it. The roof lining's in. It's pretty slick too. I don't know if you can see it, but it's all perforated. There you go. Perforated black roof lining, because the seats will be black too. So that's it, the roof lining's in. It's progress, it's happening. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it before, there was a hole in the front that I'd left, well, I had it opened up for sandblasting and never filled it back in. It's now filled back in. Yep, I'm just kind of getting things done. Not filming a whole lot, but just throwing things in so that I can look back on this one day and go, oh, that's right, there was a hole there and I forgot all about that hole. So it's happening, it's all coming together. So look at my paint. I'm so happy with my paint. Everyone's like, it's in primer. I'm like, yep, that's pretty much the general idea. It wants to look like primer, but it's 2-pack. I'm happy with it. No one else is, but that's okay. I don't really care. Anyway, back to my door. I'm getting sidetracked. There's a lot of holes to fill in. Anyway, we've got these 3 nicely done. Oof, we did have some warpage. It's a little bit low there. That one's really good. That one's really good too. That one did sink a bit actually. Anyway, bit of filler. And I really don't care. If you can see that in the end, I'm not that bothered. The doors are going out for sandblasting. I wasn't going to blast them because I didn't want all the inside full of grit, but they are going to go out for blasting now. Where is it? I tried hitting it with a wheel over here. And what happens is, and I've never experienced this, but because these are enamel paint, the moment I hit it with a wheel and it heats up, it goes all soft, I guess is the best way of putting it, and blocks the wheel immediately. And to even get this finish here, which I still need to go further, you can kind of still see some rust in that. To get that, the amount of heat that has to go into this panel is phenomenal. Like, it's radiating heat. And I don't need that in the center of the door here. So that's not happening anymore. We're going to have it sandblasted. So I've got to get this door and the other door done. So I'm just going through to fill these holes in here now. Get a little holes filled in this door and the other door, which is over there. They can go out for blasting. To get my little circle bits, I found a drill bit that's slightly larger than the hole that I'm working with. All I do is just put it on a piece of this 1.2 steel. This is the same steel that we used in the quarter panels when I welded them up. Sorry, I'm concentrating hard, and just put a circle in it. It's the same steel from the quarter panels. It's the leftover cut pieces, the offcuts. That's the word I'm looking for, offcut. So all I do is just put a little circle on it. I'll take that and trim it with a grinder, and then we'll move on to the next stage. I then weld a piece of 1.6mm filler rod straight to the face of this. That leaves me a little handle. Just like that. Straighten him up a little bit. We need him to be fairly straight. Just like that. I'll show you what I do with that. So all I do is I'm just going to fire this up and I'm going to rotate it around and take a little bit off of it. Just continuously take a little bit, go back to the job, try it half a dozen times. I will continue to do that until I get it to the right shape to go back in the hole. It's just proof. You don't need all the gear and no idea. You too can have no gear and still no idea and weld some holes up in a door. Well, that's those two doors done. All patched up, ready to go out for sandblasting. Probably mentioned in an earlier video I was not going to sandblast the doors because they were full of grease. These front two doors aren't full of grease. One of those definitely is, maybe to both of them, can't remember now. I just assumed it was all the doors. Must have gotten that wrong at some point. These doors have nothing inside of them. They've never been rust proofed or anything, so easy sandblasting job there. As for these, if we're going to blast these, we're going to blast these. So I'm going to dig out all of that gunk that's in one of these doors or both of these doors, and we're just going to have to live with the fact that some of the grit's going to get stuck in the door. Whatever's. And still, they're too far past basic prep and paint. So that's fine. We're going to have to do that. Is what it is. I have the doors back from sandblasting and etch priming, and I've spent some time sanding, like a lot of time sanding. I've also sanded the firewall. That's the other door there. This door is the driver's door. It had some body filler in it, and you can see why. There is quite the sizable dent slash line that runs straight through here, all the way along, down that end too. We're leaving it. I was going to knock it out. I did a little bit of body work on this edge here. I can't actually get in here. There's only like a small opening inside the door, and to get a dolly up in here and have my arm in there and have my arm on the other side with a hammer ain't gonna happen. Now you can also see where I welded those holes up. I did a reasonable job of that actually. Give myself a little pat on the back there. They didn't come too bad. Anyways, they're all staying too. I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother about that. This is meant to be like a race car that would have been built back in the day. They would have spent very little time worrying about bodywork to make it look pretty. They would spend a whole lot of time on the engine and making it go down the drag strip. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ignore this and get some paint on this, get some paint on the file, paint on that door, because I want this car on the road and I want to send it down a drag strip. That's what I'm going to do. That is my plan. I'm just going to keep moving forward with that mindset so that I don't lose track of what the car really is, and we get it built and actually drive the darn thing. This has been, I think if you really want to get into it, this whole idea I came up with 10 years ago, maybe more. to put an FB on a Toyota Stout chassis. I'm now 3 years into making it a reality, and this is my year. We started at Christmas time putting the body on the chassis, so I'm doing all right. It's not too bad, but we could be doing better. We could speed this show up. So bodywork, don't worry about that. We don't need that stuff where we're going. So I'm just going to get some paint on these and keep moving forward. Well, paint's mixed. This is the before. All prepped, ready to paint. Same goes with the firewall. Taping. I don't mind taping. I love pulling it off. That part's good. Anyways, this firewall painted. I'm going to paint this door and somehow transport it over to that frame. They're old welding shields. Used to have the big blue green screen in the middle of them. Anyways, so I'll paint that, transport over there, throw this door up and paint it. Progress, progress. Let's go paint some stuff, and then I can give you the after. That door is done, and I'm absolutely pumped on how it came out. Like, it is mint. It's the passenger front door, and it looks amazing. It's going to hang there till it dries. I managed to grab those two. They're actually exhaust hangers. Very old school thing. This piece here goes into the pipe and expands and holds inside the pipe, and you hang pipes up. So that's old school exhaust hangers we're using there. That door's now hanging, ready to be painted. Just mix up some more paint. Firewall's done. But I can't resist. I let it dry for a little bit. But we need to peel some tape. To be honest, half the fun of taping is knowing that you get to peel it off at the other end. So let's peel some. Oh, look at that. Contrast to my black. Oh, underbody black. If you go back and look at an earlier video, tape stuck in the end there. Oh, that is gorgeous. And I just taped it back up because the cowl panel goes on there, so that'll allow us to paint another day. Look at that. Because it's all the same colour as the undercoat, as the top coat, that's that rust repair we did down there. It's not great, but it is great enough to no longer be a hole, and that's what I was going for. It's paper, so it can go in the scrap cardboard bin, I guess. So yeah, no, that's cool, man. That's very cool. I'm very, very happy. Get this off. Oh, it's still a little tacky. Better not touch it. Look at that. Firewall is painted. I'm so keen to put the steering column in. I'm going to make a whole episode by itself about the steering column. The steering column itself is from OCD Metalworks. It's a custom steering column, ADR compliant, built here in Australia. It has the collapsible piece for the steering column. It is the double D, the 3/4 inch double D. So that's going to come through here, and it retains the factory steering wheel. That was a special request I had when they made the column, is that I wanted to run the factory steering wheel. I just like the factory steering wheel. These cars have a cool old steering wheel. Get out of there. That's her, all unmasked. So that's pretty darn cool. So anyway, the steering column I'm very excited about. This door is all prep, ready to go. The cool thing is, this particular primer they use this time, I don't know how well it shows on camera, it's actually kind of green. It's not so much grey, it's more of a green. Yellowy green? Anyway, it makes it so much easier to paint. Firewall, because it was done in the same, that's the colour I had colour matched, that primer had colour matched. It's hard to tell where you've been. You can tell because it's wet, but you can't tell exactly where you've been because it dries this satin finish. Like, it's not actually a gloss paint, it's a satin paint. So that's been difficult. But the new panels, here, you can see this here. This hasn't been sanded yet. See, yeah, it's a greeny tinge to it. So as the boot, had the boot blasted the other day too. So it's a lot easier to paint. Anyways, there's enough jibber jabber. Let's spray some paint on this bad boy. That is going to have to do it. Let's paint a door. There's another one over there, and the rest of it's done. So I'm pretty happy about that. Yep, big dent and everything. It's a pretty good dent. Someone was definitely driving by feel that day. And you can kind of see where I welded up the holes for the trim for an FB. So there's that. That door's hanging over there. My firewall is looking amazing. It's ready to have some stuff mounted to it. So I'm pretty happy about that. Just sort of packed out the paint and whatnot. I think we're about done for the night. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm pretty happy to be done, to be honest. I'm going to finish this video up here too, because this has gone on for a while. We've done a whole bunch of stuff. I am just doing my best to truck through this and keep the momentum on this build. The engine's out being built right now, so The rubbers just rocked up for the door jambs today and these, so we're going to put these doors back together correctly with all the new rubber bits and everything, quarter glasses in, the whole show. Get them back on the car with the door rubbers in, because that leads us to being able to set up the tilt front, which I'm pretty excited about. So when the engine comes back and the tilt front's on, we can make some headers. Gearbox can go in with a new clutch. Like, it's just going to flow, is kind of where I'm going with this. That's what I'm building up to. You know, measure up tail shaft, new tail shaft in there, finalise and weld out the perches on the diff mount, stuff like that. We'll just keep momentum, just keep this bad boy going. I'd like to think this car runs next year, so I'm ambitious with that, I know. I've got a lot to do, but I've done a lot as well, so, you know, why not? Let's just keep this going and see where I end up. That is it. So thank you for listening to that rambling. Thank you for watching this video. Glad you made it this far, and I'll see you very soon. We'll do some more stuff.